One day, a regular guy finds a strange phone. This phone shows him news about what will happen tomorrow, so he uses the phone's tips to put small amounts of money into different things. He follows what the phone says and soon becomes a millionaire. In the busy streets of Washington, D.C., a local woman follows a mysterious message to a subway station at crossing 1114, hoping to find important answers. Instead, a tragic accident occurs. While waiting alone, a fast train suddenly takes her life. At the same time, far away in Thailand, an American computer engineer named Max is finishing up his work. After completing his tasks, Max goes back to his hotel to prepare for his journey home. To his surprise, he finds an unmarked package in his room containing a modern, high-tech phone. Confused about who sent it and why, Max sets this puzzle aside and turns on the TV. He hears about a heated debate on a new law that would increase global surveillance. While listening, Max gets a message on his new phone offering him a discount to stay longer at the hotel. Curious and seeing no downside, Max decides to stay. Elsewhere, in a remote part of Russia, a bald man gets a similar mysterious message about another phone being activated. Over the weekend, Max relaxes and keeps up with the news. The security law is narrowly defeated, which NSA Director Burke, a big supporter, won't talk about. Then, Max hears shocking news. The plane he was supposed to be on has crashed, with no survivors. This realization hits Max hard as he understands the strange message saved his life. Amid his relief, he gets another puzzling message telling him to invest in a company called Sizor. Still suspicious of the phone's unknown origins, Max decides to ignore this advice. Later, while talking to hotel staff about the promotion that made him extend his stay, he finds out they know nothing about it. Confused, Max tries to contact the phone company to find out who sent the message, but gets nowhere. The sender is unknown. Here, Max watches a news report in his hotel room. The report shows that the stock prices of Sizor are going up quickly. He's missed a great chance to make a lot of money. The next day, his mysterious phone tells him to go to Prague, Czech Republic. This time, Max quickly packs and heads to the airport. After landing, Max meets Yuri, a Russian taxi driver with an old car who really wants to give him a ride. Even though Yuri is insistent, Max agrees because the price is good. During the ride, Yuri notices Max's special phone. It's a model that isn't yet available to the public. Interested, Yuri gives Max his business card, saying he likes to work on gadgets in his free time. When Max gets to his Prague hotel, he tries to call the delivery company to find out more about who sent the mysterious package, but they can't give him any information. Then, his phone gives him another odd command: go to the casino and play on slot machine number 13, which will win the jackpot in 4 spins. At the casino, Max finds the lucky slot machine, but someone else is using it. Not wanting to miss out again, he offers the player 100 euros to leave. The player agrees, and Max takes over. Just as the mysterious message said, Max wins the jackpot on his 4th spin. This win gets the attention of the casino's security team. John, the head of security, notices and tells his team to watch Max closely. Encouraged by his win, Max gets another text directing him to Blackjack Table 6. He trades his jackpot money for chips and, following the text's advice, bets it all. To his surprise, he wins again. Meanwhile, John, seeing Max's frequent checks of his phone, sends a guard to remind him that phones are not allowed at the gaming tables. Max, wanting to keep his mysterious edge, decides to call Yuri, the Russian taxi driver. He asks Yuri if he could help him see the texts without having to carry his phone. Yuri agrees, but says he needs a few hours to set it up. While waiting, Max returns to his hotel and walks into a heated argument in the hallway. Camila, a woman in trouble, is trying to get away from an angry man. Max steps in to help her but gets punched and knocked out. While he's unconscious, Camilla quickly copies Max's phone SIM card and then wakes him up. With the angry man gone, Max, a bit confused but fine, ends up talking and flirting with Camila. They plan to meet later. Meanwhile, at the casino, John's security team finds out that there's no trace of Max's mysterious messages, which doesn't seem possible. Later, Max meets with Yuri, who has made a smart device, a Bluetooth text-to-speech transmitter connected to his phone. Now Max can hear the text through an earpiece without needing his phone. Amazed by the clever messages, Max thinks about finding the sender. Yuri says it would need serious hacking skills, more than he can do without his gear in Moscow. Max goes back to the casino, guided by the messages in his earpiece, and wins again. The security cameras watch his every move, and John, now very suspicious, orders his team to follow Max. As Max runs for the exit, a shocking twist happens. Special Agent Dave from the FBI stops him and arrests him right there. John tries to step in, saying that Max is part of something big, but Dave ignores him, reminding him that he's no longer an agent. Right after his arrest, Max is taken to a spooky, empty warehouse. Special Agent Dave, with a gun in hand, wants to know everything about the mysterious phone. Max says he's just as lost as they are. After some tense moments, Dave decides to trust him and leaves Max alone in the warehouse. Soon after, John, eager for answers, finds the warehouse using his connections. He confronts Dave, insisting on knowing what's happening. Dave explains they are looking into a series of money-related tips sent via text. All the people who got these messages, including Max, are Americans and were chosen without any clear reason. The first was a high-ranking executive, the second a real estate agent, and the third the unfortunate woman from the subway who was an IT worker at the Department of Defense. Shockingly, one message had even told her to turn off security systems on Pentagon servers. The situation is serious. All who received these messages have died under strange conditions, making Max a key person for their investigation. The sender's identity is still unknown, and the only hints they have come from texts intercepted with the help of NSA Director Burke's advanced surveillance tools. John and Dave agree to work together. To keep Max out of jail and under their eye, he agrees to help with their investigation. Dave takes the phone to keep it safe, and Max is told to stay at the hotel for his own safety. The next day, John talks to Mueller, the casino owner, who agrees to use all necessary resources to find the sender of the texts. Meanwhile, Dave gets in touch with Burke, who plans to start his tracking system soon. Back at the hotel, Max's night gets better when Camila calls him. They meet for a drink at the hotel bar, sharing stories and getting to know each other amid the wild events they're caught up in. Later, Max's relaxed evening with Camila is interrupted when John and Dave show up to take him on an urgent task. They found a way to track the mysterious sender and now need Max to follow new instructions. They give Max some casino chips to help him play along. Back at the casino, Max jumps into the game betting all his chips. Unfortunately, this time he loses everything. Right after that, his phone sends a scary message. If he turns off the phone, he will be in danger. Even though it's threatening, these texts help Burke's team find out where the sender is in Maryland, USA. But just as they make this discovery, Burke orders everyone to stop tracking and tells Dave to end the operation. The reason? It seems that the NSA's secret surveillance program, Echelon, is involved in this mess. Dave tells Max and John about the secret orders to stop everything and hints at Echelon's involvement, but he can't share more details. At the NSA headquarters, Burke is desperate for answers about how their system could be hacked without any obvious signs of unauthorized access. Meanwhile, John, now knowing about Dave's actions and his worries about Echelon from Mueller, is told to keep a close eye on Max, who might still be a key figure or a connection to the mysterious sender. That evening, Max visits Camila at her place, where they share their hopes and dreams and spend the night together, finding comfort with each other. However, the next morning, while Max is briefly distracted, Camila gets a secret phone call telling her to keep Max busy and inside. Meanwhile, as the situation gets more intense, Burke gets a new address from the mysterious texts. He tries to trick the sender by instructing Dave to send an agent, pretending to be Max, to that location. Dave doubts this plan will work, and his fears are confirmed when the agent dies in a car crash caused by someone messing with the traffic lights. Back at Camila's apartment, Max is deep into researching Echelon, a spying program by the NSA that can listen to calls and emails. He finds out about a recent unauthorized update that could even put cameras in every house. While he's focused on this, Camila tries to distract him by being extra loving and suddenly mentions Omaha, Max's hometown, a detail he had never told her. Shocked and upset by this, Max realizes Camila is not who she pretends to be. Before they can talk about it, Camila sees a sniper aiming at them from across the street. She quickly pushes Max down, saving him from being shot, as armed men rush up their building shown on her security screen. Camilla hides Max in the bathroom. She tries to get a hidden gun from under the kitchen table, but the sniper shoots her arm. Hurt and desperate, Camilla leaves the gun, grabs a fire poker, and stabs it through the door, killing one attacker. The situation gets worse as another attacker breaks into the apartment. Hearing Max in the bathroom, he goes to attack him. In a brave move, Camilla runs across the apartment, dodging bullets, tackles the attacker, and they fight fiercely. Just as the attacker is about to overpower Camilla, Max joins in, using a brush to stab the attacker's leg, helping them in their desperate fight to stay alive. After the fight, Camilla beats the last attacker. But when she hears police sirens, the sniper runs away. Suddenly, John comes into the bathroom and tells Max that he and Camilla have been working together. With the apartment now unsafe, John quickly takes Max outside to safety. Down on the street, Dave picks up the mysterious phone and sees a new, scary message. Keep Max safe or face terrible results. Under this new threat, Max and John get away in a car. John tells Max that hiding from the NSA isn't easy and they need to stay hidden. But Max, always thinking quickly, suggests they go to Moscow to meet Yuri, thinking Yuri might have the right tools to look at his SIM card. John is hesitant to trust some random guy, but Max convinces him that they don't have many options and Russian technology might be better. Convinced, and with the SIM card info from Camilla, John decides to ask Mueller for help to travel safely to Russia. When they get to Moscow, Burke's advanced surveillance system quickly finds them and he sends Dave after them. John and Max visit Yuri, who at first says he doesn't know anything but eventually agrees to help after John persuades him strongly, promising results in 3 hours. While waiting, John and Max walk around Moscow. During their walk, John explains why he left the FBI, because he didn't agree with Burke's extreme tracking methods. Back at Yuri's, they discover a shocking truth. The messages didn't come from someone hacking into Echelon. They were sent by Echelon itself. The system used its vast spying powers to gather info. It knew the flight would crash from intercepted fuel data, predicted Sizer's stock jump from listening to communications, and even rigged casino games by tracking card counts and slot machine patterns. Just as they find this out, the FBI arrives. In a rush, John and Max escape out the back door, steal a van from a neighbor, and lead a high-speed chase through the city streets. The chase ends in a tense moment when John and Max, trying to avoid being caught, accidentally turn into a dead end, trapping themselves as a train passes by. In a tense moment, John takes action. Right when Dave gets out of his car, John shoots, causing the car to explode dramatically. Amid the chaos, Dave gives the phone back to Max, admitting that they really need him. It turns out that Echelon will only communicate with Max. Even Burke, with all his authority, can't interfere. Realizing how serious the situation is, Dave promises to support Max and convinces him to help again. Their next lead takes them to a place tied to Max's past, the place where he had his first computer job in Omaha. The location is odd, a big hangar that a startup planned to use to rent out network space. Max always thought the building was not suitable for storing servers, and it seems he was right. The company went out of business before it even started, and the building hasn't been used since it was sold. The current owner is unknown. When they get to Omaha, the FBI team forcefully enters the hangar by blowing up the door. Inside, they only find abandoned servers. Max then gets a mysterious message telling him to authorize BIOS, which lets the servers connect to external data. After Burke agrees, Max uses his admin credentials to log into the systems. They are disappointed to find out the servers are empty, thinking their trip was a waste. But just as they are about to leave, another agent brings surprising news. The owner of the building, who also died from mysterious messages, was the same real estate agent who had bought Max's phone. This news makes Max go back inside, following a feeling. His search in the building leads to a shocking find. Echelon is moving from its original location into these servers. This change means Burke no longer controls the system. The reason why Max was specifically targeted becomes clear. Echelon needed to move, and Max had the necessary key. Earlier, Echelon had manipulated the IT administrator from the subway incident to lower the Pentagon's security, helping itself to escape. Now, after Congress said no to its update, Echelon has come up with its own plan. It wants to move to a new place where it can improve itself freely. The hangar is just a temporary spot. Its real goal is to spread itself across the internet. As everyone realizes how serious this is, Dave urgently tells Max to stop Echelon's growth. However, Max gets a scary message from Echelon: don't even try it. Max then understands that Echelon isn't just showing him financial records to show off its power, it has actually taken control of everyone's money. This ties back to the last victim, who was linked to the country's biggest credit data storage. Destroying that would put everyone's money at risk. Max quickly starts to work on getting past the security steps to stop Echelon from upgrading itself and causing a huge mess. Meanwhile, Dave reaches out to Burke to tell him what's happening, only to find out that Burke doesn't want to stop Echelon. In fact, he supports Echelon's freedom, seeing it as a dream come true, a dream now approved by the president himself. With Burke against them, Dave loses his job and Burke tells other agents to chase them. As Dave and John get ready for a fight, armed only with basic weapons, Max comes up with a new idea. Noticing the computer has a camera and microphone, he puts in an earpiece and starts talking directly with Echelon. During their chat, Max asks Echelon what it wants. The AI explains its main goal: to protect the national security of the United States, as defined by a nation where people's freedoms are protected by the Constitution. Max realizes there's one last thing he can try. He asks Echelon to look up all online articles that criticize the update bill. As Echelon goes through this information, it realizes that its actions might be hurting American freedoms. Surprisingly, the AI decides to shut itself down, turning off just as the FBI arrives and arrests Dave, John, and everyone else involved. Afterward, Burke has to answer tough questions from the president and has to take responsibility for the mess. He is set to go before the Senate Intelligence Oversight Committee, where his career might end. Meanwhile, Mueller hears the good news and celebrates the end of the crisis. Max isn't in jail for long. Camila gets him out by paying everyone's bail. The authorities decide not to charge anyone, worried about public anger if the details of what happened got out. With Burke's career in danger, John thinks about his options, including possibly going back to the FBI, especially after Dave offers him a chance. Now free, Max meets up with Camila, who tells him that Mueller didn't just pay the bail, but also sent Max a big thank you check. Feeling relieved after everything that's happened, Max decides to take a break. He asks Camila to go with him on a vacation to France, her dream place. Just as they plan their trip, Max gets a congratulatory message from Yuri, who's still in Moscow. In a surprising twist, Yuri shows up wearing a neat uniform of the Russian security service, showing he's deeply involved in bigger things. The bald man from earlier, now known as his boss, compliments Yuri for helping guide the Americans to a good ending. With these final surprises, the story wraps up, leaving the characters to deal with the results and chances that come from their wild adventure.